Good evening. We're back at it. Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. I'm Dominic Izzo. It's Wednesday night, and we do this every Wednesday night. We have conversations about the culture of being a cop in America. Lots of fun. We open up the phones on Wednesday. That always gets colorful. 708-982-0974. You guys can have a conversation. And we just have a great damn night when it comes on Wednesdays. For those who are wondering, I'm a retired law enforcement officer, patrol from up here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I've been sworn from 2001 to 2019. Loved my job. I got a great story that you can find either in my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop, or you can go to YouTube and check out the video that I've done a whole damn bio on myself. Questions. I always love the questions. The purpose of this is to damn well engage and change the friggin' culture of being a cop. We have some shitty cops in America that are damn well overshadowing the awesome ones. We'll talk about that again today. We're streaming live on all the platforms. So if you're enjoying it, great. You want to call in 708-982-0974. It's always got like a free-for-all on Wednesdays. You guys can enjoy it. I do want to, do I see you? I got to find out a way I could see you guys in your comment sections over on the social medias. Kelly Wilson, it's good to see you. Romero Santiago, how are you? Stephen Ritchie, Rachel Morgan. You guys are coming in on that. If you want to support what we're doing, you can. And trust me, I'll take your support, your monetary support, because I want to go around and start giving training where it's not able. I said flat out, if you're in the Chicago area and you want defensive tactics, I'll give it to you for fucking free, because you guys are severely lacking when it comes down to law enforcement, defensive tactics, and it blows me away the amount of agencies that are so cheap that won't do it. You can go to PayPal, Cop Talk Live, and just go ahead and support us. Everything you send is absolutely appreciated. The comment section, of course, I love reading your guys' comments as time goes on. Scotty Rose, 420, how are you? Ray, Keith, Sheeble, hope I got that. April Schoen, happy belated birthday to April Schoen. Hope you're doing well. Are we still live over on this platform? Yeah, I guess we are. I can't see your guys' comments over on Instagram. If you're on there, appreciate it. This is the website. This is coptalklive.org. coptalklive.org. Make sure you go check it out. You go ahead and hit that button. When it pops up and says put your email address in, and you go from there. Get subscribed. We don't spam you guys. We give out like a daily newsletter, articles, training, police breakdowns, body camera footage, and more. It's coptalklive.org for all your law enforcement needs. What is this shit? This 30 by 30? I have to be a little critical because I was critical, and I wonder if I could pull it. No, I can't pull it up. I watched a video today. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hang on. TikTok. I want to be fair because I don't want the words that are not mine to be in somebody else's, my mouth to be in somebody else's mouth. Let's see. Was it Kaylee? Is that the police officer? I have to find Kaylee, police officer. I have to look it up. Sorry. Okay. XO Kaylee. I'm going to play this because this is not fair for me to misrepresent what she says. Is this it? Okay. I'm going to play this video, and we're going to just discuss it. And it is what it is. But I don't want to shit all over her without her words being said and heard.
If you're a female and you've ever thought about being in law enforcement, then this video's for you. So I've been getting a lot of questions about what I've done to get into law enforcement and how I got into the police academy. So only 12% of law enforcement are females, so those are really low numbers. Hopefully we can get those up by 2030. If you guys have heard of the 30 by 30, 30% of females by 2030. I really hope so. But if you do really want to be a law enforcement officer as a female, you need to be strong, humble, and fit. Like, make sure when you go to the police academy, you can do push-ups. Don't be that girl that can't do like at least 20 push-ups. And then make sure you're running, getting your cardio in. I suggest doing cardio at least 3 days a week. Definitely research the police department that you want to go to. I suggest doing an internship or doing a ride-along, because if you do a ride-along, you can meet officers and see if they're happy at that police department, kind of get their perspective, how long have they been there, what they've done in the agency. I definitely suggest that because I feel like they're going to tell you the truth and then give you their experience. And I think that's important when you're choosing a police department. You want to pick somewhere where you're going to be happy, you fit in, and you feel like you belong. Because if you are in a toxic work environment, you're not going to be happy. Plus, this is a very high stress job. So you want to make sure you're surrounded by positivity, good people, people you can count on, and things like that. Another tip that I have is starting a jiu-jitsu or some type of martial arts training. I didn't have that training when I went into the police academy. I just had basic defensive tactics training. I did a couple self-defense classes before the police academy, but then after I got done the police academy, I started taking martial arts classes. I did jiu-jitsu and it was awesome. It was a great workout. I met some great people. I learned a lot, so I definitely suggest that because that'll help you in the police academy when you start. And most importantly, make sure you know the reason why you want to do this job. Because when you go to apply for your police department or other agencies, they're going to ask you, why do you want to be a cop? That's like the most basic question ever. But when you get put on the spot, you need to know like why you want to be a cop and the things that you bring to the table, how you carry yourself. Of course, be humble, but definitely sell yourself when you go for your interview. I really hope this helps, and if you have any more questions or want me to talk about anything else, feel free to drop some comments and I will make sure I get to them. Thank you guys so much for watching and good luck.
I don't know why you guys think that you can't be found, if you will,
If you're a female,
just by covering your badge. Yeah, St. Cloud, Florida. It's not that hard. All you do is type in somebody's name, whatever, you pop right up. And it says that you want to be a full-time fitness model. So you have no passion for law enforcement. Listen, it used to be that thousands of people showed up to the application, the testing. It was always the physical test to get a few spots. Maybe some agencies had like 3 spots, and like you'd get like 1,000 people showing up for it, and you had to earn the spot. You had to pass the physical test, which is a load of garbage. You know, sit and reach, sit-ups, bench X amount, your percentage of your body weight, and a 1.5 mile run. And then the problem is it's skewed for women because you guys don't have the same standard as men do, so it's a joke. And that got you to this test, right? And the test a monkey could pass. I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn. I scored 3rd on one list, the first list I went to my department at, and I scored 2nd on another list that I didn't go to. Anyways, my point being is I want to go this point by point, and I want to be critical. Pressure test what you're saying. You're advocating for other females to get into law enforcement, right? That's what you're advocating. So let's hear the breakdown of what you have to say again, point by point.
Female and you've ever thought about being in law enforcement, then this video is for you. So I've been getting a lot of questions about what I've done to get into law enforcement and how I got into the police academy. So only 12% of law enforcement are females, so those are really low numbers. Hopefully we can get those up by 2030. If you guys have heard of the 30 by 30, 30% of females by 2030. I really hope so. But if you do really want to be a law enforcement...
Let's break that down first. Here's the 30-30 initiative. Currently, women represent less than 14% of sworn officers and 20% of recruits in state and local law enforcement agencies. The sources from the Bureau of Justice Statistics. Officers face significant health and safety challenges affecting both men and women. However, women officers encounter unique challenges that impact their physical and mental well-being. Number one, then why do we want you? If you're already going to claim there's a specific difference between us and you have to have specialty treatment, I don't want you on the street at all. Balancing work with family responsibilities along with health concerns such as pregnancy, reproductive health adds to complexity. That should disqualify you. Women should not be on the road when it comes down to being a cop, especially when the workplace policies lack support, maternity leave, accommodations, caregiving needs. Additional issues like sexual harassment, gender-based discrimination, contributing climate. It's just one big excuse. All I hear from women is excuses, excuses, excuses. You guys are inferior in a lot of ways, and emotions in one of them. You're talking about law enforcement being a profession where your mental health is it's a baseline standard, because we're going to be requiring you to make decisions that will affect other people. You can't be emotional. You can't let your period brain sit there and determine whether or not you're going to cite or arrest someone based on your mood swings. And that's exactly what females are. Overly emotional creatures who do not operate on logic. but more than emotion, period. It's dangerous. I got texts are coming in already. Let me see what this is. I could turn up my volume a bit. Not sure. What? You guys can't hear? Testing over in the, can you hear over in the chat? Let me see you guys over here. Low volume, low. You guys get the low, oh, hang on. How about now? Is that better? I appreciate that. See, this is why we run a live Thursday, so I can wind up getting you guys the proper stuff. I don't have an intern. I should get one. Let me do this. We have a thing, if you can't fix it, feature it. Is that better, kids? Appreciate you trying to help. You guys seem good on everything. Testing. That's better. Appreciate that. All right, great. We can keep moving on. The bottom line is, I don't see some of you overly emotional fucking creatures or women in the chat going, I can't hear. Take the tampons out of here and we move on. Anyways, for the love of God. How we're changing policing. The 3030 initiative is a coalition of police leaders, researchers, and professional organizations committed to advancing and supporting the representation, experiences, and well-being of women at all levels of law enforcement, both in the U.S. and beyond. That's too much. It's too much. You guys want everything. You're not qualified to do the job of a police officer on the street. Records, awesome. Maybe investigations. Interviews, I don't know. Being part of interviews, sure. Having, a different lens, but solo, I don't think so. There's just a lot that could go wrong. Research shows that women play a crucial role in building community trust. De-escalating conflict. There's not a fucking chance. That's all you guys do is escalate conflict. That's all you do. By your nature of showing up on scene, you're not taken seriously. Half of you, of the females I've worked with, we had one that was so bad. She was so bad with the first department that she was with, a male police officer punched her in the face and knocked her out because he had enough of her shit. That's how horrible of a fucking cop she was. She was the biggest shit stirrer on the planet, and we used to say all the time, she's going to start shit, we're all going to finish it. She was 500 pounds of mouth on a 110-pound frame. Biggest asshole. Used to walk into shift change every day. See what I did to that guy yesterday on that call? You didn't do anything. We did the work for you. Just the shittiest representation of fucking female cop out there. Research show that women play a crucial role in building community trust, de-escalating conflict, and improving public safety outcomes, with evidence linked to reduced force and enhanced relationships with the community they serve. Oh my God. This is a ratio, right? So whatever they're basing their use of force off of, I'm going to tell you flat out, the only reason a woman can take a man into cuffs with minimal force is because he allows it. I hate to burst your bubble, but the problem is the bad guy, Joe Shit, the rag man, he knows that what's going to happen is if he resists you, the cavalry's going to show up and he's going to look like an aerated lawn on the first day of spring. He's got so many holes in him. So he goes, all right, fine, I'm just going to go into play. That's if we want to count your presence as de-escalation, and hey, guys are just going to do this because fine, I can get behind that one. I can get behind that a little bit, right? I support that in a way. But in the totality, when it comes to females escalating force, you just look at it. I played a video a couple weeks ago. I believe it was an Arkansas state trooper. And she activates her overhead lights on and a guy does not hear her. And it's proven that when he pulls over on the side of the road, music is blaring from his car. She thought it was a pursuit, walks right up, rips him, tries to rip him out of the fucking car. And then a 6-minute melee ensues where she can't take him into custody. Taser, blah, blah, this and that. and she resorts to pulling out her pistol and shooting him in the temple. Because she was ineffective at doing her job, lawfully she's allowed to shoot somebody. So I pose this to you. We saw the Harris County sheriff who could not take somebody into custody, so she murdered someone just not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. So my question is, do you as a citizen want a female to show up knowing that the public, the mob, the whole fuck around, find out crew, the play stupid games, win stupid prizes crew, they back the blues so much, they're fine with a female going right to her pistol because you're a bigger guy and she can't take you into custody. So use of force, Graham v. Connor, objectively reasonableness is all going to support her from going, yeah, she could shoot him. Yeah. If that's what you want, then you should just jump on that. We're collaborating with hundreds of agencies to make law enforcement professions where qualified women who are drawn to it feel welcome and supported while ensuring their agencies address their unique needs and foster success. I don't want somebody who needs. Why do you, as a female, require unique needs when the common denominator in every law enforcement situation is that every cop should be equally equipped to serve the unique needs of the public? See, the citizens that you swore the oath to, they're the ones with the unique needs. I don't give a shit about your unique needs as a female who comes in to do the job. If you're not qualified, you're not qualified. End of story. I am anti-women on the street. But let's continue on with Kaylee's comments. So remember, she supports the 30-30 agenda. The 30-30 agenda is to ruin law enforcement. And I'm not threatened by women being in the field. I'm not. Sadly, the ones that I know that are great fucking cops, they're misrepresented by this generation of cops. Even men. We have a lot of work to do to eradicate these unbelievably disgraceful fucking males who are on duty. But let's continue with what she says.
Officer, as a female, you need to be strong, humble, and fit. Like, make sure when you go to the police academy, you can do push-ups. Don't be that girl that can't do like at least 20 push-ups, and then make sure you're running, getting your cardio in. I suggest doing cardio at least 3 days a week.
Everyone talks about in the beginning of their videos. Well, people need to ask me, what do I need to do to be a cop? People do ask me all the time, hey, I want to be a cop. What do I need to do? And the first thing I say is, you need to know why you want to be a cop in the first place. If it's to get the badge, to have the authority, I get it, man. I get it. If you had asked me at 26 why I wanted to be, I had two different answers. At 26 years old when I went in, and why do you want to be a cop? It's because at the time I was working as a 4 a.m. bartender, and everybody and their mother said, you make a great cop. So I said, okay, I wouldn't mind some stability, a government job, a steady paycheck. I don't have to do this bullshit anymore. That was my reason. I wanted a secure job. I looked at it as a job and I took it seriously. I didn't take it as, it wasn't a calling. It's a calling. I'm going to go and I deserve this. I didn't fucking deserve it. I earned it. The second time when somebody asked me, why did you want to be a cop? The answer completely was different from my view. And this is what I tell people, because she asks people at the end to be able to answer why you want to be it. I'll give you this is what the practiced yet understood answer needs to be if you're going to be interviewed, and you need to mean it. It can't be canned. You can't listen and regurgitate it. When your department, your village, your police board, they ask, why do you want to be a police officer for our village, our city? It needs to simply be this. After reviewing this agency, this town, this city, this county, this state, I have determined that being a part of this organization would afford me the opportunity to be the best version of myself to help others, because the only way to become the best version of myself is through helping others and serving others. And that's it. I just want to be the greatest human being I could be and live up to my fullest potential. That bullshit answer of I just want to help people, you're ticketing people. You're pulling them over, towing their cars, sending them to court, arresting them on domestics, ticketing them for loud noise when a neighbor complains. You're not helping anyone. You're ruining lives. You're pissing people off. You're not fucking helping anybody. You guys think this is CSI bullshit? Where you go in and you discover a crime that's 30 years cold case and the rape of the teen from the next door neighbor who's now, that shit barely ever fucking happens. And let me tell you something, as a patrol officer, if you do discover it, you're never gonna get credit. The fucking detectives always take the credit for shit, but that's a different story. Learn to know why you want to be a cop in the first place. But why is it that they all focus on fitness, push-ups, running? It's just not going to help you. All the Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the world that she's going to bring up later, I'm sorry, unless your backup is there as a female. I saw a female today who did such a great job, unbelievable job on Riverside County. And she had some Brazilian jiu-jitsu tactics on, but she couldn't do the one that would do the job because policy and law won't allow it. So the question you have to ask, and this is for Kaylee or Haley or whatever his name, everybody else, can you take me into custody by yourself without your pepper spray, without your taser, without, even with the pepper spray taser, you can't. Baton, not a fucking chance in hell. And pistol. Yeah, you got a 50-50 chance on that one. You can't. You can't. So stop thinking that all the working out in the world will do something for you. And here's the biggest thing. Why do you guys always go to fitness first? Why not the Constitution? Hey, people ask me all the time what I need to do to wind up becoming a police officer. Learn the fucking Fourth Amendment. Search and seizure. Start learning in your state. Can you go grab that garbage bag that may have the evidence you're looking for? If it's on the curb, if it's on the apron, if it's on the porch, can you run your canine up there? Oh, what can you do on traffic stops? Can you order somebody out of the car, and why? Can you search the passenger on a traffic stop? Can you demand ID? Why don't you guys ever learn law? Why don't you ever get a leg up instead of going to the academy? So here's the biggest problem people don't get. The worst part, this is the worst fucking part about law enforcement, and nobody talks about this. It's an on-the-job learning curve. What do I mean by that? It means that you fuck up on the job. Like if I went to Starbucks and became a barista, there's a high probability that I won't get the recipes down right for the first 6 months. So during those 6 months, when somebody orders a non-fat mocha latte with dairy, extra dairy foam, whatever, I'm going to fuck up the order. Now, when the order's fucked up, person walks away and goes, this is not what I order. Not a problem. Let me remake that for you. I'm going to comp for you. It's my bad. I'm going to take care of it. I could do that. When you fuck up as a cop, someone gets hurt, someone gets neglected, someone gets arrested, someone gets a ticket, someone gets their car towed, someone gets fined, somebody gets sent to court, somebody's life is fucking ruined. I tell this story all the time. I was doing midnights, 11 to 7, and I learned a trick. If you find a traffic arrest at around 6:30, right around the time everybody's supposed to be going in, it's a good chance you can get an hour and a half of overtime, right? So every now and then I would do that. Found a guy one day, stopped him. Turned out he had no valid driver's license. I was brand new. This was 2001. No valid driver's license. I pull him over, and I do what's called a street booking. Guy was in his 60s. His license was expired by 6 months. No valid driver's license. Class A misdemeanor. I write him a citation, handcuff him, put him back in my car, take him out. Got to embarrass him, right? We got to put everybody in the handcuffs. Do the fingerprints on the back of the squad car. Tow his vehicle. And that was it. And he was on his way to work. Years and years later, I went, what the fuck did I do that for? The man has been driving since longer than I've been alive. And he forgot to renew his driver's license, which almost happened to me just a month ago. And is it that big of a deal that it goes 6 months, no valid? You couldn't have said, hey, listen, go the fuck after work to the DMV and get your driver's license renewed. I couldn't have done that. On the job learning. I fucked up someone's life, sent him to court, probably cost him hundreds of dollars in fines to get his toe out because I was new and I was learning. Had I known some life experience before that, with how the law worked and what discretion properly was, I probably wouldn't have done that. But it's on the job learning, and nobody wants to talk about that bullshit. You don't talk about this. Nobody brings up the law, Constitution, nothing. It's always fitness and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Let's continue with our crap.
Definitely research the police department that you want to go to. I suggest doing an internship or doing a ride-along, because if you do a ride-along, you can meet officers and see if they're happy at that police department, kind of get their perspective, how long have they been there, what they've done in the agency. I definitely suggest that because I feel like they're going to tell you the truth and then give you their experience, and I think that's important when you're choosing a police department.
Are you out of your fucking mind? You actually think cops are going to tell you the truth about their department? They're going to tell you it sucks here. Command staff is always up our ass. Admin's always got a target on somebody's back. If you fuck up doing this, great. You can't talk shit about your coworker because if they bitch, cry, piss, moan about you, you're screwed. You think they're really going to tell you, oh, it's awesome. Every day is great here. Yeah. Oh, unbelievably naive.
You want to pick somewhere where you're going to be happy, you fit in, and you feel like you belong. Because if you are in a toxic work environment, you're not going to be happy. Plus, this is a very high-stress job, so you want to make sure you're surrounded by positivity.
There's nowhere in law enforcement that it's positive. Nowhere. It's your job to not make it stressful, but it is not. I will repeat this 1,000,000 times. For anybody who's on the fence for becoming a cop, there is absolutely nothing stressful about being a police officer. It is not the hardest job in the world. It is the most difficult job in the world because you're dancing on eggshells all the time trying to appease the citizens that support you. You're trying to impress the citizens that can't stand you. You're trying to follow within the letter of the law, knowing that the state's attorney or district attorney is going to undermine you. Department policy is going to wind up hamstringing you. Command staff, doesn't matter how good you are. Some of them cannot stand you personally. They're going to wind up trying to crucify you just because they had a bad day with their wives and kids at home. That is it. It's the most difficult job because of that. It's not hard at all. It's difficult. It is not stressful on any level. No shootings I ever saw, stabbings, beat women, dead kids, car accidents, whatever we saw, gang shootings, whatever we saw, nothing was ever stressful. You compartmentalized it. The human being that you are when you do the job, if you're a professional police officer, is you compartmentalize what you see on a daily basis. And you use your emotion like a normal human being. You can cry on the way home over what you saw. You go to roll call the next day, you make some very dark, sadistic fucking jokes about the things you saw to cope with it, and you move on. That shit is never stressful. The command staff is the most stressful. The brass, your bosses, are the most vile fucking human beings on the planet when it comes to law enforcement. No one hates patrol, police officers, more than brass. I am 100% convinced that there is a class at Staff and Command School. There's a portion of it where they teach you how to fuck with other officers on a psychological level that will get them to lose their goddamn minds or kill themselves. I'm certain of it, convicted of it, and that's how that is. Let's continue with this.
Good people, people you can count on, and things like that. Another tip that I have is starting a jiu-jitsu or some.
This kills me because she goes down this path talking about starting a jiu-jitsu class, and the tone, if she's been doing this job for any length of time, and you would have to assume at one point she's put her handcuffs on somebody, that's force that is used. It's not a joke. You're given the lawful authority by the people to make the decision to take away someone's freedom. I've never been arrested. I've had handcuffs on for training academy classes. You know, we do defensive tactics, but I've put my fucking handcuffs on a ton of people. And it did hit me later on in my career. I'm seizing people. They're not free. I am taking away their God-given right. That's a fucking insane responsibility. And some of you clowns with your pink handcuffs think you're just degrading and insulting people out there. That's a due process violation as far as I'm concerned. You are disrespecting people who still have the amendment, the constitutional right for due process, and you're punishing them. That's a load of shit. It was like, I'm friends with Sheriff Joe. You know, I respect Sheriff Joe Arpaio, but the whole pink uniform bullshit, I get it. That's corrections. That's a different animal entirely. But it's like, dignity. I don't care if somebody's the biggest shitbag criminal on the planet. Give them an opportunity to reclaim their dignity. It's not our job to take it away from them. But what are you doing? You're advocating jiu-jitsu. Why? I want to hear how serious and somber and stoic she talks about training to take away people's freedom, their rights, to hurt people to do so, or to fucking kill them if they need be. I want to hear how she talks about this.
type of martial arts training. I didn't have that training when I went into the police academy. I just had basic defensive tactics training. I did a couple self-defense classes before the police academy, but then after I got done the police academy, I started taking martial arts classes. I did jiu-jitsu, and it was awesome. It was a great workout. I met some great people. I learned a lot, so I definitely suggest that because that'll help you in the police academy when you start. And most importantly,
that's it. It was a great workout. Yay! I did a workout. Child answer. It doesn't take the responsibility seriously.
make sure you know the reason why you want to do this job, because when you go to apply for your police department or other agencies, they're going to ask you, why do you want to be a cop? That's like the most basic question ever. But when you get put on the spot, you need to know like why you want to be a cop and the things that you bring to the table, how you carry yourself. Of course, be humble, but definitely sell yourself when you go for your interview.
There's no other reason to become a cop unless you want to serve others. That's it. There's zero reason. And I get it. You get the badge, you get to drive fast, speed in your own car. Half you fucking cops out there still abuse the drunk driving laws and drink and don't give a shit because you got, professional courtesy and all that shit. It is to serve other human beings. That's it. You are a servant. At times, you're called to be a warrior, step up to the plate and do the job with ferocious violence that will end a threat, but you're a servant 99.9% of the time. And unless you are willing to be someone's bitch, don't be a cop. Don't be a cop at all. It's as simple as that. Let's see more. And then here's the other part of this. Again, so she just did all that, and she talked about what's necessary to be a female in law enforcement. I want to look at what she advocates. What is some of her content that she's talking about? And I'm singling her out today. It's not fair. I don't give a shit. If you have a public page, then you should handle the criticism for it. But if you have somebody like this showing up to your home to solve your problems and your biggest need of crisis, I want to see what advocacy she's using to promote females in law enforcement. Let's take a look at some of her content. 9 million views. Let's take a look at this.
Couple wet wipes, case a bum try to touch me. Ew. I'm the Terminator.
Okay, so we have that. Let's see what else we have. Right. What else we got? Pink handcuffs.
Because it's iconic, and I love to do iconic shit.
Okay, there's got to be something else here. Let me see. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Lot of fitness stuff. I don't ever mind this shit at all. I like empowered people who are fit and take care of themselves and take a pride in what they look. Fucking awesome. Be attractive. I'm a narcissist. Trust me, I get it. But I want to know what you're doing to advocate for women to be professionals in this career.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
All right, so to wind up advocating for law enforcement, you lip synced, put on lip gloss on overinflated lips, have the turn of the century long lashes that are allegedly to prevent semen from getting in your eyelashes, and you lip sync to something out of a movie. Fucking awesome. 30-30. I will tell you, if this is the agenda, I'm going to fight with every fiber I am to prevent the 30-30 from happening. Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. Guys, 708-982-0974. 708-982-0974. Phones are open. I do have to answer some of your questions. We do this every Wednesday night at 9 Eastern. You guys did have some questions that I got to look at. I put up over on Instagram earlier today. Let me take a look as I log into this. It is good to see you guys over on the chat. Again, I wish I could read your content over on Instagram, but I can't. All right, here's your questions from people I asked. What do you want to know about law enforcement? Be unscared. Best job in the world. Being ruined by those who are called not to do it. I'm telling you, when I first started doing the Facebook in 2015 with like Mike the Cop and Officer Daniels and Tommy Norman, this was not it. We were doing law enforcement content to talk about laws and, don't fight in the street, fight in court and comply. And, we were telling people about the concept of being a cop and how to interact with them. Not this shit. Not this shit. Johan Polenko, from local law enforcement to federal law enforcement, is it worth it? That's a decision that you have to make. I don't have that answer. I was never federal. My academy mate, that asshole, he went federal 2 years into our department, and he's been there ever since, so he loves it. So I can't answer that question because I'm not federal law enforcement. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Good evening, officer. I was always wondering, looking at the videos of various all kinds of violations performed by police officers, rights violations. So usually the consequence is either some internal investigation or sometimes lawsuit. But I was always wondering why we never hear about certification side. So all officers, if I'm not mistaken, are certified, and I would think that the number one means to combat some misconduct by the officers would be at least related to certification, but we never hear about it. Why?
I wish I had that answer. I don't know. You just see so many guys who, you know, instead of getting fired, I love how everyone bitches about, well, you got fired. Oh yeah, tell the rest of the story. I got reinstated. It's because I made a choice. They said resign or we'll fire you. Fuck you. I did nothing wrong. Fire me. But you know how many guys take the resignation and just move to another department and you never hear anything about it? It's insanely common. I don't have that answer for you. I do not know why we have cops. And I put one up today. There's a police officer. It's Moncie. ITS period MONCEE is her Instagram and what do you call it? TikTok handle. And she's got video of her in uniform, driving a car, not wearing a seatbelt, filming herself. You as a citizen, would you get pulled over for that?
Yes, of course.
Would you get ticketed for that?
Yeah, it's all understood.
But nothing happens to cops at all. If I had emperor staff of the world and all the power, if we found a cop and they were accused of violating somebody's First Amendment, like on a traffic stop, and you pull somebody over and they give you the finger, and you wrote them a traffic citation based on giving them the finger, or you arrested them based on them giving you the finger, and you were tried and convicted, death penalty. It's the same thing as treason. If you willingly stomp on another citizen's rights, you should be death penalty, executed. Simple as that. I don't have an answer for you. I wish I did. I know the frustration, and I don't know how to solve that. I really don't.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. 708-982-0974. 708-982-0974. Moving on. Someone named Travis, most cops are fucking tyrants. Yeah, it's an insecurity issue. Jeremiah, Chris, I wish I could get out. It's dead. Yeah, I can hear you. Ron Jeremy 99. You're all lazy crybabies who want praise and refuse to do actual police work. I wasn't. I was a great fucking cop. Great cop. Mike says, in the current climate, is law enforcement a profession seriously worth pursuing? Yes, because we're going to need the people to sit there, climb the ranks, and make the changes on the command staff and leadership level. We want the right people who are see this as a. Let me put it this way: if you're walking into law enforcement, and you will easily outshine any cop on the planet because of their lack of work ethic and their focus. Most of these cops, if department policies started to hammer down and say you cannot wear your uniform on your TikTok, you would see a mass exodus of children who pretend to be cop to no longer do the job. There's nothing else for me to do. Their only purpose for being a cop is for their social media. That's it. That's all they do it for. Medina says, I want to hear what you think about cops thinking they can do whatever they want on the road using personal vehicles. I tell you, I think that the biggest offenders of DUI laws are police officers, off-duty cops who drink and drive. It's insane. It's insane the number of cops who do it. 708-982-0974. If you guys have anything you want to answer, question, all that stuff. Time mail. Good cops and bad cops. We've seen what happens when you have zero cops. Oh, sure. Caitlin's sister's fitness. Support the blue. I love my officers and gals in the department. This is my question. When people back the blue, I'm all about backing the profession, not the individual officer. And you won't see me ever single out, put in my timeline, showcase an officer's dead. A couple weeks ago, and this is my opinion. You don't like this? I can't help you. This is just my opinion. A female Chicago police officer apparently walked into her station and shot and killed herself. That was it. And what did the people who support the blue say? Oh, one of our fallen, so-and-so was killed today, blah, blah, blah. They shared a picture like crazy. Fuck that. Fuck that. A selfish human being was so fucking selfish, she decided to punish everyone she worked with by going to her precinct and putting a bullet in her fucking head and putting everybody at trauma, danger, risk. Why am I celebrating that person? Why would I do that? I don't get how the comparison between the citizens and the police, somewhere along the way, we elevated cops to a godlike status, right? They could do no wrong. But if you take a human being, regular Joe, and he's a philanthropic kind of chap, and he donates to his community, he gives back, he's a pillar of the community, he's a public servant, he's awesome, and this guy has one bad day and does something stupid and dies in the process of dealing with police, we're going to crucify him and vilify him forever. Going to vilify him forever. Going to dig up all the dirt we possibly can on him. Oh, we should have seen this, should have seen this, should have seen this. But when a cop dies in the line of duty, they could be the biggest shitbag, corrupt cop on the planet. We don't know how they treat people on traffic stops. We don't know if they issue pissing off the police tickets. Well, there's a cop going around now who's on podcast, who's being celebrated for the corrupt New York cocksucker he was. Talking about the laws he broke, went to prison, all this shit. And he's a good cop, yeah. But when these guys, we don't know about these people. But when they die, bagpipes, funeral march, plaque on the wall. Why do we do this? I do not arbitrarily support cops. I support the profession. Individual cops, not a fucking chance at all. You got to prove that you earn your status with the community and the badge you wore. What is this? Discord beats being a dispatcher? Any thoughts? I was never a dispatcher. I don't know. Too many useless chicks getting hired from. There's a ton of questions on here. Holy shit. Let me see. Man, I'm going to get back to some of you other guys here, but let me take some of your other messages. 708-982-0974. 708-982-0974. 605, giving you a call because you just texted. Remember, we do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
It's Mark.
Hey, Mark, it's Dominic Izzo. How are you? We're live.
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. What do you want to talk about?
Actually, I want to talk about, you were talking about earlier, I was talking stuff about the rural cops versus the city cops. They think they're so much better.
Yeah, I had a woman, for those who are wondering. I'm not very well liked with a lot of cops, and I couldn't give a shit. And I had this retired Dallas female cop from like the 80s she's stalking my shit, commenting all over, and anytime somebody shits on me, she has to double down to make sure, yeah, she's basically harumphing in the comment section, and she made a claim saying that I'm not all that because I came from a department of only 22 sworn, and my first department had 38, and my last one actually had 13, not 22. But I had to do a response. Well, I had to do a response saying it blows me away that nearly 50% of the police agencies in America have less than 10 cops on the planet. And I think, yeah, my view, I did a whole thing on my view, but yeah, go ahead and what were you going to say?
I'm going to say I am totally with you because I'm sorry, but our cops here, our sheriffs, they got a response of like 30 minutes. You're not going to have any backup of 30 minutes.
Yep.
And I just don't understand how they think that they're so much better when I live up here in South Dakota, and when you got to confront 10 drunk Native Americans by yourself, you have no backup for 30 minutes. How do they think that they're better? I'm sorry, but no, they don't have that kind of. They got like a 3-minute response.
No, you get in a fight in a rural area. It's just you and the subjects, right? You get in a fight with like CPD, and 30 cops show up, and then they all stand around for an hour and a half drinking coffee, exchanging war stories, and talk. I don't have any. I'm sure there are a lot of great Chicago police officers. The ones that I've ever known, they're arrogant, they're slobs, they're just completely disheveled, and they have the numbers, and they don't do anything other than respond. Your municipal, your village cops from start to fucking finish, they're the ones who answer the calls, initiate the calls, take the report. Evidence text, breath op text, crime scene text. They do everything because they're so understaffed and they're underpaid.
Yeah. And the weird thing is one of our neighbors, he's a deputy, and he is one of the nicest guys. And he pulls up behind me one day. I pull in my driveway. He pulls up behind me and he goes, "Hey, Mark." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Your taillight's out, or your turn signal's out." I'm like, I turn it on. I go back there and slap my truck. It comes back on again. I'm like, "I know you saw me fix that last week." He goes, "I know. I just want to tell you it was out." And he drives on. No big deal. But then my best friend that lives right across the street ended up killing himself because he had cancer and apparently couldn't handle it and shot himself. He had to go over there and do all of everything,
start to finish.
They don't understand that, Chicago cops don't have to do that. Big city cops don't have to do that. They just pass it off on the coroner. No, he had to go over there and do everything, do all the investigation and everything.
Coroner where you're at, coroner may not where you're at, may not get there for a day. Out here, you got to wait an hour or two. Coroner's busy.
And he had to go do everything and document everything himself.
Yeah.
By himself. They don't understand what these cops in rural areas and, suburbs and stuff do. And anyone that says the cops in these areas are not good, I guarantee I will take them out in the backyard and smack them down. And I won't have a problem with that.
No one hates cops more than other cops. It's a crab in the bucket profession. That's all it is. But I appreciate the call.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you're doing, and God bless you. And thank you for, again, happy Thanksgiving. Or happy Easter.
Yeah, thank you. That too. All right, take care. All right. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, this is Frank. How's it going?
Good, Frank. What's going on, man?
So, just a question. What is your view on these different, organizations or companies that, like, for example, Chad Lyman, BJJ Cops, what is another one? 5-0, that are out there teaching or trying to teach cops, like, control techniques and that type of stuff.
Everybody and their mother has their view on stuff, and it is what it is. I think nobody has, and I've never met him, I don't think anybody's ever done more for law enforcement defensive tactics than Tony Blauer has. And he was like my generation, and I never went to one of his classes. I mean, I taught, and I still teach defensive tactics, and it's based off of, grappling and Wing Chun. So it's like everybody's got this fancy control. The big one? What was the big one when I was in the academy? It was called the clamp. The clamp. You reach over somebody's shoulder, lock it back. I never used it. Never used it. Now you got the shoulder pin, the seatbelt technique. Here's the biggest problem. You could have the best technique on the planet. The problem is, unless you train it 10,000 times, it's useless. Yep. Do you really think cops train seriously at all? I will tell you this, if you're ever involved in this, cops go to classes to show you what they know, not what they can learn. Happens every time you teach defensive tactics. You get the guys show up. All right, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. All right, start getting the reps, and you break them all up, and you go around, and you got every guy is just showing you, this is how I do it on the street. It's like, I didn't fucking tell you. I want you to do it the way that your department is paying us to do it, then do a rep and a rep and a rep. It's just egos. That's all it is.
I see, yeah. Because you see a lot of the same faces in those courses. I've taken a few from different companies, and each one has their different, signature thing they want to show you. I feel like the people that need it don't show up or don't go to them because the typical reasons cops don't train to begin with, it's either they don't want to find the time for it, they don't want to put out the money for it, invest in their own health, like like an average person trying to convince the average person, hey, hit the gym, stay in shape, stay healthy is good for you. It's a battle for everybody. And, you know, I don't want to say it's a job requirement. Well, it is a job requirement to get in. It should be. But then after.
Yeah, it should be. You know, if you have, so the two cops out of, oh crap. Well, what did I say it was? Oh, I can't remember the county now. Harris County were both obese. They were fat. They were fat cops. Do you think that if they were in better cardiovascular shape alone, just start with that base. Do you think they would have had a better chance to take that man into custody instead of shooting and killing him?
Of course. Okay. Most of the use of force incidents can be avoided just by officer presence, you know, having a way of your demeanor, being professional looking. That's a deterrent in itself. But
well, not just so. So here's the deal. Man. If we know, like, how old are you?
41.
You're full. Okay, so you're getting up there too. So you and I are a little bit older. You're 41. I'm 50. If we fight, if we're cops and we fight with a guy who's 18, 19, or 20, do you think that he's going to have better cardio than we do?
Yeah.
So if we purposely neglect it, we don't do cardio. We eat like shit. We do whatever, and then we go hands on, and we're losing the fight. And then I go to my pistol because I'm about to pass out. And if I pass out, he can kill me. And I shoot and kill this guy. Should I be criminally held liable?
That's something I argue all the time. I mean, I try to stay in shape. I do jujitsu and I do different kind of martial arts as well. But I would say I don't agree with that being the reason that you're too small, you're too out of shape, you're not the right gender. And because you suck at all this stuff, you can justify using your weapon and killing somebody. I don't think that's a fair loophole, if you will.
It's not. You get a female. If you have a 5'4" female, goes up against a 6 foot tall, 225-pound man, and she goes right to her gun because she's small and she can't take care of herself, she's going to be protected. It's not right.
You're going to be able to articulate that all day.
Yes, it's not right. We align. We align in that. I appreciate the call.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. 708-982-0974. We do this every Wednesday, 708-982-0974. Oh, shit. Hang on to it. Should I call you? Wait a second. Hang on. Let me. I'll take this call because this is a decent one. I don't know if you want to call.
Hello.
Hi. Did you want to talk live? You had a great question. I didn't want to put you on the spot, but you got a great question.
Yeah. I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So do you want me to repeat the question?
Please, yes.
Or just,
please.
So I live in Pocatello, and I'm a prospective police officer candidate, and I was just curious from your standpoint, with all of your experience, as to how they approached the situation with the shooting. Why would they not have taken the time to try to de-escalate in that situation? Because I'm just not, I don't, I see it from a civilian standpoint, so I don't really have all the information either. So I'm just curious what you think.
Did you watch my breakdown of the body camera footage from the Pocatello police officers?
No, I watched a few of them. I haven't.
I did a full breakdown. Did a full breakdown on YouTube because finally the body cameras were released, and it's 100% justified shooting. I support those cops. They gave 6 commands. They ordered him 6 times. For those who are wondering, we're talking about the 17-year-old Pocatello autistic teen who was shot for having a knife in the front yard. And everybody's talking about the fence. There was a barrier. I cover everything from auditory exclusion to tunnel vision to the 21-foot rule with a knife. 6 commands was given, didn't. He advanced. The fence was in the way. The only time that I would have said I'm not good on the shooting is if there were not people who were on the inside of the fence that were still in proximity with him. Simply because, and we've demonstrated, I have in the video, where we demonstrate, I had Paul Ingram, who's a knife expert, demonstrate how fast someone can move from a turned back position on a cop without cop even being able to fire around. So in that whole situation, and I go over the whole thing from when the call came out, how you respond to calls, the adrenaline dump, the tunnel vision, the information the dispatchers gave. The dispatchers gave them that there was a subject on scene hitting the man in the head who had a knife with a log. So you had all the deadly force components. They showed up. They didn't run. They trotted 3 steps and then walked up to the gate, dropped the knife, 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 and then shot. 6 commands. It was a lawful shoot in that incident. 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know it's frustrating.
Yeah. I was just a little. So yeah, you said you have a full video.
Yeah, the full video is on. It's one of the latest videos done. It's the latest, not tonight, but it's the latest live. On our YouTube channel. If you go into the live section.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, my name is Mark. I'm watching your stream right now. I love everything you do. I just want to say I have been kind of motivated by what you do, and I talked to my professor. I'm in college right now, and I was able to convince him to add a part of the course to be about police culture and how it ties in with use of force.
Fantastic. What's he going to do?
He said he's going to work on it because he has made the course from the ground up. He hasn't really gone into detail about it, but we're still talking about what he's going to add.
Where do you go to college? Your number's local. Where do you go to college?
Actually, I go to Arizona State University. I did grow up in Gurnee, though.
Yeah, so you know the area I worked.
I do. I know it very well.
Yeah. Was our department a really non-active police department?
I gotta say, from the interactions I had, to me it was active, but just from the interactions that I had, it was pretty active. Mainly because I did a couple of stupid decisions, but I don't think that's indicative of how it actually is.
Yeah, I love when people say the Round Lake area had nothing going on. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. Hey, I appreciate that. If you need anything from me or your professor needs anything from me, just get a hold of me, please.
No, of course, I appreciate it. I did have one more thing, though.
Yeah.
I tagged you on Instagram. There was this shooting that went down recently where they knocked on this person's door, and he answered the door with a gun. I believe it was a domestic violence call, and they gave no commands, but the officer closest to the door just immediately let off 4 rounds. I wanted to get your opinion on that.
Do you know what town that was in?
I don't. Let me see, because I had
see if I can pull that up.
Yeah.
No, I want to look at let's see, filter date. It's got to be uploaded this week.
I tagged you on it yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody in the chat. I want to see if they could say anything where this is at, because let's see the delay here. There was
Middletown. It was in Middletown, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm not finding it. I did see it. It was a lawful shoot. It was. How do I say this without sounding Middleton, Ohio police.
It was the shooting of Christopher Gorak, last name Gorak.
Yeah, okay. I've got that here. It was a very lawful shooting. They opened it. I mean, it was, I have absolutely zero problem doing it. That cop's instincts were right on the money. I cannot complain about it whatsoever. I don't think I'm going to find any type of, Middleton police. I approve of the shooting. It was clean, it was instant, and it was lawful.
Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. I don't know. My sympathetic side came on that they didn't issue zero commands, but I can understand why they didn't.
Well, yeah, because it takes no speed whatsoever. It's the blink of an eye to just draw that gun and shoot right back. So the cop went off of the information, and it was a clean, lawful shooting. As bad as it sounds, and as bad as the public. Why couldn't they give him a second to do whatever? No, absolutely not. So yeah, it's my view on that.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate your insight. I appreciate everything you do, and I'll definitely probably be calling it again next week.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Let your professor know if he needs help. Let me know.
Absolutely.
All right, let me look on here. All right. Okay, this is what he's talking about. This is a 30-second clip. I do not know why the cops are there. I don't know anything about this other than, but we're going to watch this really quickly here.
Middletown Police.
If there's 3 there, there's a disturbance in progress. That's what that is. So they're already there. Their guns are not drawn, so they're not ready to just kick the door in or whatever. They're on alert, but they're not ready to use deadly forces yet. Good shoot. Good shoot. Clean shoot. I have zero problem with that. This officer's instincts, phenomenal. Boom, he sees that. Look, he's got the gun in his hand, and that's clean. That is a lawful shoot. Here's the problem. This is the problem that we have to talk about. This is America. You have the right to bear arms. How the fuck can't you have a gun in your home? So this is where the middle ground is, that I don't have the education enough to have this discussion from a law enforcement point of view, based on Graham v. Connor, based on objectively reasonableness, based on the totality of the circumstances. That's a lawful shoot. I didn't say I like it. I said it's lawful. The problem is it's America, and you have the right to bear arms. And what person cannot have a firearm in their home? This is above my pay grade, and I would like to see people who are smarter than I am having this discussion. So again, I'm not ready to have that conversation because, I mean, I as far as I'm concerned, all gun laws are unconstitutional. And there's that. Hang on. 602 calling you back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, so I work for a sheriff's office, and I just wanted to. I have a quick question. I have some experience within law enforcement, but I've noticed a big pattern. What is up with the sexual degeneracy of law enforcement? I seem to.
We're all fucking pigs. We're all fucking pigs, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that shit on the weekend, but at work, it's like teeming everywhere.
It is, and you know what it is? I think it's just the dominance factor. Every female I've known who is a cop was sexually aggressive. They just are. It's part of the allure of the profession. I don't know why we talk about this. The amount of swingers who I know that are cops, tons. The amount who get into some serious taboo kink. It's all over the place. So I think it's clearly a psychological issue. But the problem I have is when people who judge act as if they're just all vanilla and holier than thou shit. Here's the issue where it bleeds over into law enforcement. I have a serious problem. Like, I had a friend of mine who worked for a department, and I had to call him and say, dude, your fucking cop who works underneath you just pulled over someone I know as a female and was leveraging his position to get her phone number. This was years ago. Or all about all the cops who like to show up to the domestic battery victims a day later and make sure they're doing okay and flex that authority. You got it's all over the place. I don't have an answer other than power is an aphrodisiac. Crossing that line happens all the time. You could rack it up to what they see, the darkness of it, and it just bleeds into the psyche. I can't give you any other explanation other than that, but the sexual overtones of perversion and kink is insanely high in law enforcement.
Yeah, it is. It's honestly embarrassing, and for someone who works in it, it's like, I'm not holier than thou. Like, I know I have a problem too, but I mean, at least be professional enough and hold yourself and have some pride in working at where you're at and keeping that shit out of the workplace.
Well, you have it like when you have That's the biggest problem I have with the women who sexualize themselves. I did a video, and everyone's like, I thought I was cucking for Ashley Smith. And I'm like, dude, she could be a whore all she wants off duty. I don't give a shit. When you're on duty, it's a different story. And the content I've seen of hers, she separates it great. I don't give a shit what she does. I had a friend, well, she's a friend now. I interviewed former trooper Ivana Williams, who is going through some shit with her department because of personal, private stuff she did off duty. And I've said a million times, I don't give a rat fuck if you got gangbanged on the weekends. As long as you're a professional on the job, and she was a massive professional, that's all I give a shit about. So cops are the only ones who they are their own worst enemies when it comes down to not keeping their private life private. And that's something that they have to work on.
I 100% agree with you. It goes both ways. And honestly, it is embarrassing. I try to hold myself to a better standard than others as well. But some people just make it so fucking hard. But thank you for hearing me.
Dude, I'm one of them. Trust me, I'm one of the biggest kink taboo motherfuckers out there. And I do not kink shame anyone. And when you get in law enforcement and that badge and that authority, it's like an adrenaline dump. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, you know, man. Well, thank you for hearing me out.
I appreciate you too. All right, let me get back to some of you guys. 708-982-0974. 803, giving you a call. Hi, sorry I missed your call. What's going on?
No, you're good, bud. I was just touching base with you to see, I sent you a message earlier, but I know it's come up again, the 2023 case of Spivey out of Horry County, South Carolina.
You're kind of hard. You're kind of hard to hear. I'm sorry.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's kind of muffled a little bit, but it's okay.
All right. I apologize. But it's a Spivey case out of Horry County, South Carolina. Danger ground. Spivey was apparently left the bar, was drinking, drunk, brandished firearm at two gentlemen. Spivey had left the scene. Well, the other two gentlemen had followed him and chased him down to confront him. Ultimately killing the gentleman, Spivey. I think they shot over 40 rounds into his vehicle, the other two gentlemen, and I know they were cleared, like I said, for danger ground. But I know some other tapes have come out. I guess the 911 tapes has been released, and I just trying to see what your take was on it.
I didn't see any of this. I didn't see any of this. Can you text me some information or email it to coptalklive911@gmail.com? I haven't seen this yet.
All right, yes, sir. I can get that to you. But yeah, I know it's kind of come up again, but I don't know. Something don't seem right about it. It's like those guys walk free from murder, manslaughter at least. I mean, I understand stand your ground. I'm all for it, but it's like they also had the gentleman left. They also had the means to leave the scene as well, but they, confronted and continued to follow him, and
I don't know.
Follow another.
I'd like to take a look at that if you would send that to me, please.
Oh, yes, sir, I will. And you're talking about sexual deviance. I was a SWAT medic for 10 years before I was medically retired. And yes, it's rampant through all of public safety.
We're all fucking perverts. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing. I had a couple female cops who are like, "Oh, I'm going to expose your shit." I'm like, bitch, you want the videos of what I fucking done? Just let me know. I'll send them to you. I really don't give a shit. You have no idea how many dick pics I've sent throughout the last fucking it's ever since pictures were available on phones. You think I give a fuck? Everything was consensual. Eat my ass. And that's a good time.
100%. There you go. And like I said, I think it's more of a, ain't nothing wrong with eating ass, man. But
I appreciate it.
I think a lot of it's like trauma bonding, more or less. That endorphin release and dump. I think that's a lot of it. It's trauma bonding, and it becomes sexual.
Yes, 100%. 100%. I agree with you. Yeah. All right, be safe out there.
Yes, sir. You too. Right. Appreciate you, bud.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, I'm gonna get 810. I'm gonna give you a call. I don't know if you can answer, but 810 area code. I'm calling you to see if you can answer.
Hello.
Can you talk?
Yeah, I can talk. What's up, buddy?
Can we plug you?
Sure, why not? I'm on my lunch break.
Okay, so you're on your lunch break. We got Sergeant Eric from 2 Cops 1 Donut on the line here. That's Sergeant Eric Levine from 2 Cops 1 Donut. Sir, how the hell are you? What's going on?
Oh, just out here trying to save the world.
Hey, talk about 2 Cops 1 Donut. Plug it. What does everybody need to know about it? What's it all about?
Just a nice little program to help try to bridge the gap and try to bring the community and policing closer together, sir.
And we're pulling up so everyone could see. This is the Two Cops, One Donut channel on YouTube. You can go and check that out, and you can subscribe to it. Everyone needs to subscribe to it. You'll get police commentary, use of force breakdowns, shorts, a lot of stuff that you need to know about being a cop and on the public. But yeah, did you have a statement or a question, Sarge?
I was just curious from your perspective, sir, because you've been around the block for a while. When it comes to supervision, what would you suggest that we do as supervisors, frontline supervisors at that? So sergeants, and it may be a little different from department to department, but what do we do to get the sergeants out of the office with their feet kicked up and out there talking about case law during roll call, training control tactics on, training days or whatever, going over body cam videos of their own people and saying, all right, let's look at this. What can we learn? What do we do well? What did we screw up on? How do we get sergeants back in that role?
That's on your bosses. Every single sergeant I've ever known or had who has been out there with the guys, bonding with the public, bonding, doing the job, all this shit has been just browbeat by their lieutenants. Every single one of them. Take a more roll back, distance yourself. There was an agency, I can't remember which one, it was a suburb of Illinois, and they had roll call. I think it may have been not Elmwood Park, Elmhurst. So a more affluent area, ritzy, high end, not that much crime. And they would do roll call on the street and like on corners and allow the public to come in. I don't know if they still do that. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So my experience has always been, this is always what it was. Sergeants were awesome because they came from us. And you got, we as patrol would do anything for the sergeant who came from us. And then just one day shit started changing and they made sure that the line was drawn to get rid of the personal relationships on any level. And it all went to shit. Nothing. It just, that's where the resentment and the morale goes down and whatnot. So I've seen sergeants who get out on patrol, do the job, communicate with the public, communicate with their officers, and always their bosses would shit on that every single time, all the time.
I got to say that I've been blessed. I have a chain of command that supports exactly what I'm talking about because it is what I do. It's what all the sergeants around me do. And I think that the success that our officers have has been because of that camaraderie in a supervisor that is out there with his people. And it also helps in, policing's probably changed light years since you were out there. It changes every 6 months anyway. So in policing, what I try to tell these guys is like, don't let the new rules get you down. Great police work can still be done. But the history of policing has always been just that. They make a rule, we figure out a new way to do it. They make a rule, we figure out a new way to do it. But I think you need to have the sergeants out there with the young officers and having because the young officers actually help us out as supervisors figure out how to navigate the new rules and how to apply them to doing real police work today. So when those officers and people out there are naysaying that, oh, we can't do real police work anymore, I don't buy that. I think you can. I just think you're not working hard enough.
I'm so black-pilled when it comes to you specifically because you're an idealist still, and it's like I'm literally waiting for the day, and I don't want it to happen. But where the shoe drops, and you're like all of a sudden, because it happened to a mutual friend of yours and mine that we know that's out in my area who's very well known, and him and I were talking. Him and I were talking a couple months ago, and he's like, all of a sudden, my department is dinging me on this X, Y, and Z that I've had for years. And I'm like, that's because you're becoming popular more than ever. Same thing. The more you are liked, the more you are respected, the more that you actually do the job. It's almost like it's in the DNA of the miserable brass to make sure that you are shit on and they make your life harder. So I don't want it to happen, but I'm waiting for the day it happens to you.
Well, maybe that'll be the day that it crushes my optimism, but I told you, I am an idealist and I am an optimistic person at heart. It's It's not that I haven't been knocked down. It's just apparently I haven't been knocked down hard enough to knock the optimism out of me.
Don't do it. Let the negativity just come from guys like me, and then we'll stand by. That's good. All right, Sergeant Eric.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, 2 Cops, 1 Donut on YouTube and everywhere else you could find 2 Cops, 1 Donut, and it's Sergeant Eric. Be safe out there.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah,
Take it
later.
easy.
All right, guys. Let me get some more of your calls. 708-982. Lots of them. You guys calling in today. Holy shit. All right, 630, giving you a call.
Hello?
Hey, this is Dominic. Sorry I missed your call. You're still live. What's going on?
Oh, hey, Dominic. Yeah, I've been listening, and I want to share a couple things about sergeants and supervision that you and Sergeant Levine were talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, and I've thought about this for a while. One thing that would be great, and this would help out, this goes back to what you were saying earlier in the show about, young cops, get you guys a book on the Constitution, all this other stuff, just like in other countries, how they have police forces nationalized. So it's one standard. You don't have command staff, like how you touched upon departments fight weight, fitness standards. It'll take away all that nonsense. And we have precedents from the 1920s and 30s where then President Herbert Hoover actually did something like that because bribery was so awful. He created a federal commission that actually somewhat centralized PDs.
I think just to kind of sum it up, I think that you're going to see something. I think that they're purposely, and I've said this, I think they're purposely allowing law enforcement to eat itself with these TikTok cops, with these bad cops who have no idea what the use of force. And they're creating such fractures in the foundation of what this is, that the only answer is to federalize it across America. I just as really answer your question in the summary, I think they're going to be probably in the 10 years is going to be federalized. But that's just my viewpoint. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I got to get back to you, a bunch of guys. I'm going to be breezing through you. I apologize if I cut you guys short. You got some great stuff, but I want to get to all of you today.
Hello?
Yeah, it's Izzo. You're live. What's going on?
Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been following you for about a year. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. We got a question or something you want to talk about?
Well, sort of a question. I'm from Barrie in Ontario.
Okay.
Right? And it's just like crack and Durka. I don't know if you want to put that on there. Sure for sure, bro.
Right.
Right.
All right. It's 917. I go back. Let's go there. It's almost like Chris from Not Even a Show is calling again. I miss that guy. I just opened up the Pandora's box by fucking saying that out loud. Wolf, giving you a call back. 917, I just tried giving you a call. Let me see what else you got here, because I missed some people. 562, giving you a call. Did I call you yet?
Hello.
Hey, it's Izzo. Sorry I missed your call. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Just want to talk a little bit. How you doing?
Good. What do you got? What's on your mind?
Nothing. Just wanted to thank you for everything you do. I mean, as a law enforcement officer, everything that's based off you, whatever you say, whatever you talk about on Facebook and all that, it makes perfect sense. And
are you in law enforcement as well?
Yeah. I am. I'm a deputy.
Well, here's the challenging question. I appreciate nothing I do is special. It's the same damn thing you guys are currently doing. Where do you disagree with me? What stances and statements do I make where you're like, man, I'm not aligned with you on that?
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. I think everything you say is spot on.
How long you been on?
So I worked the jail for a little bit. I currently have a year and a half on after FTO. So from FTO, finishing FTO, I got a year and a half now. I'll be 2 years here soon. And, last year I got awarded. I got nominated for the MAT Award for DUIs.
Oh, wow.
Just for me, it's more of a like I put the work in, and I'm very private about what I do. And when I'm working, when I got my badge on, when I got my uniform on, it's something that I'm professional at. And when you post these videos, it just like, for me, I'm just like, how do these people do TikToks, and how do they, you know what I mean? Like post videos of them driving, videotaping themselves. And of course, like, right. We all do the, hey, I'm going to take a photo of me. Like, I have a few photos of me, in uniform. That's cool and gravy. But, just like the whole TikTok thing, dude, like for me, it just, from someone that works really hard and takes their job extremely serious. It's just crazy.
So here's my only hope is that you continue to take the job seriously. Because if you got 2 years on, probably in the next 3 through 5, you're going to start getting really irritated. And you're going to go, why the fuck am I doing this and all this? Start your goal right now to become leadership. If I had that mentality and I had seen it as a profession and not a job when I was first on, things would have been so much different. I just talked to one of my first FTOs. It was actually my phase 3 FTO. And that was 2001. And he had 4 years senior to me. He just retired a couple days ago as chief of police for our police department. It's the only department he worked for. So it's like 30 years. And I said, you're coming on a podcast because you faced the exact same problems from the street, the administration, the calls, the politics. You outlasted everyone and you became chief. And I want to know what his mindset was. And that being said, I do not think enough people, if some of these people think I'm going to become chief someday, they wouldn't be doing these fucking TikTok videos. They would be focusing on their career. So if you've already at that position, then when things start getting difficult, start telling yourself, no, I need to climb the ladder, become leadership, and change this profession.
Right. And I agree with you 100%. I think when you get into that mindset and you start feeling that way, kind of like the whole chip on your shoulders shit, I think it's very important to work out and run and, on a personal level, like just think to yourself, like, hey, I got to work out. I got to do this. Like, it's starting to wear off on me. I started in the trade a little late. I went to the academy at 34.
I went at 26. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I noticed there's a lot of people trolling their page. Oh, you work for a small agency. You work for a small agency. I also work for a small agency. I think as of right now, we're 31 sworn in.
Yeah, I was 38 with my first department. Was 38 sworn.
Yeah, so we're a small department. So either way, it doesn't matter.
Wait a minute. That means you probably run in summertime on midnights. Your minimums are what, 3?
Yeah, our minimum is 3, so we run 3 exactly.
So people don't know. So summertime is coming up, and don't tell me where you're at, but you have DUIs, domestics on the weekend, all this shit coming up, and there's only 3 fucking cops on the street in a town. That means you probably have between 35 to 40, maybe 45, maybe under 50,000 people in your town.
Yeah, you're kind of hitting it close. Yeah, and yeah, you hit it right spot.
And
right
3
spot
cops. 3 cops are going to be on midnights. Your minimums are 5 on afternoons.
No, not even. It's 3 all around.
Oh shit, 3 on afternoons.
So,
holy shit.
Yeah, so when I get like a guy from freaking California coming out of municipal or a department out of 100 or a 200 sworn, I'm like, dude, do you realize that I'm the only one cop that's out in the middle of nowhere at a random ass mile marker in the middle of nowhere, dude, pulling over a freaking Suburban tinted out with, you know what I mean?
Four guys in it. You call for backup. The backup gets there in 15 minutes. And now while the two of you are on that traffic stop, the other cop who's all alone by himself has to go to a combative domestic all alone with no fucking backup because there's only 3 on. Right.
Exactly. So that's why I appreciate, dude, like I appreciate your video so much. Like, sometimes I get the time to go under a tree and park my car and do report writing and all that. And, it's crazy. Like, I think training is super crucial. Like, I think anyone in law enforcement should do it. I do it. I just finally got into jiu-jitsu. I'm trying my best to be the best I can be. And when someone comes up to my car, or someone parks right by my car or my unit, I literally get out. And I've been told, why do you get out, dude? Well, why in the fuck am I not going to get out? Do you understand? I got a family back at home, and being in my vehicle is not the best place to be if I fucking get ambushed. So I get out. I literally get out, and I'll be like, "What's up, dude? What's going on?" And I have my distance with them, but complacency is not in my book. I don't believe in it. I cannot stand a cop that's complacent as fuck. And so for me, it's every time I see your videos about cops, I'm out on a traffic stop. I can't even have a backup officer come to me until I'd say probably 45 minutes. So if I'm on a traffic stop and something goes wrong, they're about 45 minutes from where I'm at. So go figure. You already know you're a cop.
Oh God,
right?
traffic accidents where you got to do all that stuff all by yourself. It's chaos. It's chaos.
Yeah.
That's why I can't stand. Oh, the real police are Chicago, New York, LA. Yeah, well, 30 guys will show up on a scene. Yeah, and just I appreciate you.
I just everything you say, it's so crazy. I'm out working. I'm out doing my thing. I'm out by myself. No backup right away, kind of thing. And it's I know what I signed up for, right? So before I did anything, I know what I signed up for. Here where I work, there's a lot of officers that do certain things a different way, and I always tell them dude, you know what you signed up for. Stop with this for your safety and my safety. I get it, but you know what you signed up for. It's not a safe job. You know that, bro.
It's not, and it's not a stressful job. It's not a stressful job. It's not a safe. It is what it is. But be safe out there. I really appreciate your call. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget, we do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, you can support and sponsor the channel. PayPal, Cop Talk Live. Go to PayPal, donate. Help us get the message out. Help us offer training that we need to get out there, and help us move back into helping other cops. Wolf, giving you a call again.
Hello.
Hey, sorry I missed your call last time. What's going on?
Yeah, how you doing? So yes, I just want to say, look, I'm not a cop, but I do work with cops all the time. Honestly, it's not the cops' fault. All they do, it's not really their fault, because of the DA. They just let them get away with it.
Oh yeah.
And the feds let them get away with it. All the judges get them let away. So it's if they can do whatever they want, they will do whatever they want. It's not really the cops' fault. It's more like they do whatever they could do because no one holds them accountable. So it's not really their fault. It's just if you let someone do something, if you let your son do anything he wants, he will do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he will. Correct.
Yeah, so, that's all it is. I work with cops all the time. Most of them I see are respectful and lawful, but there are some, here and there I see some stuff going on.
It is what it is. And you know what? That's actual bullshit statement for me. I don't like the is what it is. Well, you got to accept that there's human nature and there's a bad cop. No, I wish every cop would take this job fucking seriously, look at it as a profession, hold themselves to a higher standard, and treat you want to humanize the badge? Treat the people that you're dealing with like they're fucking human beings. I wish that would be the standard.
absolutely, and I agree with that statement. By the way, I'm 102%. It's just that it's more like the DA's fault and the feds also, because you can prosecute them under like 1983. It's called like the law.
Yeah.
And they don't do that. They just keep on going.
1983 action. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And if you let your son do whatever he wants, your daughter, they will do whatever they want. Because I'm just letting them get away with it. So that's all they're going to do. They're going to violate everyone but they're never held accountable. So
I get it. Trust me, I get it. It is what it is. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Yep. You too. Have a good night, though.
You too. Thanks, Wolf. All right, 336, giving you a call.
Hello.
Hey, it's Izzo. Sorry I missed your call a while ago. What's going on?
No, thanks for calling back.
Yeah, what do you got?
Are you familiar at all with the thing called the MANT program?
No, explain that, please.
Okay, it's MANDT. It's a de-escalation program. Now, they teach hands-on and, like physical and non-physical crisis intervention. But I worked in a lock psychiatric unit where were allowed to, we used hands-on quite a bit. Maybe not every day, but quite a bit. And
is this? I'm looking online. MANT system, holistic evidence-based training to reduce workplace violence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something I didn't mean for you to look it up now, but if you ever get bored, the reason I'm saying is the first quarter that we implemented MANT, and as a team, we really used it. This was a lot of employees. Our first quarter, we were down 40% on hands-on, and we had a limited amount of injuries. Something really significantly minor stuff, banging up a knee or a wrist or something. But I just thought it'd be interesting. I don't agree with you on the shooting of the kid behind the fence. I think if you use the MANT technique, I'm not saying 6 commands and shoot. Maybe it would have took 8 or 9 commands. I don't know.
I'm completely open for that. Let's talk. Nobody wants to bring that up, so I appreciate you don't agree with me. Tell me about what you're. Are you? Well, I don't know. Are you law enforcement or former law enforcement at all?
No, sir. I worked in a lock psychiatric unit.
Oh, okay. I'll go with that. So talk to me. This is important. Talk to me about what you disagree with the shooting and what. I'm not going to say what would you have done, but how should, from a civilian's eyes, you guys think that should have been handled?
I think maybe a little more time before the shooting. I understand he was in the dancing, but you had the fence there. I've dealt with people who got a hold of scissors and were in the same room with me that were 2 feet away.
Now, here's the problem. You and corrections officers are in a position to dealing with weapons where you guys are unarmed. You guys have a different perception. You don't have a firearm to go back to. There's no safety there. So I'm going to say your perception on how to deal with that I'll say advanced. It's advanced. So yeah, more cops should have training. That's why I think every single cop on the planet should start in corrections for 2 years. Be no weapons whatsoever, and then you're outnumbered 20, 30, 100 to 1, and then go from there. So automatically, you're more hands-on than anything else the cops were.
I think it comes down to a lot of time. It takes time, and you got to be patient, and those are tough things when you're in a fear for your life kind of mode or a fear of getting hurt anyway.
And here's the other thing too. Now, how old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
65.
65 years old. Do you agree? Now, I'm 50. I'm 50, and I started in retail and the bar industry, restaurant industry. Then I went to be a cop. So I've always served people, right? And I was a cop from 01 to 2019. You are 65, lived in a different generation. Do you agree, or let me get your thoughts. You and me on a call practicing de-escalation. In other words, just talking to other human beings versus a 22, 23, 27-year-old kid in today's world trying to de-escalate. Do you have any confidence in today's generation of cops who are that much younger and their ability to apply any de-escalation tactics they learn?
I think that'd be a good thing where men could teach them. You know, do I think they can? Yes, I do. I think they can learn to de-escalate. It's just, I'm not a cop. I've never been one. I know you guys are trained a whole different way.
Not trained at all. We're trained horribly. Cop training is shit. So if you're working in the medical field with psychiatric patients, guarantee you have better training than cops do. 100% guarantee. Their training is pass or fail once a year to get recertified so that the chief doesn't get sued by any lawsuits that come in. That's all it's mandatory for. And the cops go to it and they half-ass the training in itself. Oh, let's do, but you got to certify in the collapsible baton. Here, hit the pad 10 times. Then hold it and back the person up and then stun. It's a bunch of bullshit. Bullshit.
We cut back. We used pain compliance back in the old days. I mean, you kind of had to. And we still did to some degree, even with MANT, although MANT says you can do it without using pain compliance. But we did cut our pain compliance way down.
That's dangerous.
Putting somebody in 4 or 6 point restraints that was manic and out of his mind. We didn't have to twist the wrists behind. We could hold the arms. I mean, there were several of us, and we could do it with a lot less pain. And I think today, what I see on all these videos and everything is pain compliance is used way too much.
Pain compliance, it's like because I've been doing martial arts for 30-something years, it's body structure. And if you learn pain compliance versus actually how to lock up a skeletal structure and be like, oh, this person literally can't move because you locked up their skeletal structure. That's why I've never done jiu-jitsu, but it's perfect for that. Pain compliance, people have different thresholds for pain tolerance. So it's is what it is. I think your call makes a lot of sense. I do not, based on your perception and experience, I don't mind that you disagree with the shooting. I just have a different perspective on what the guy, like I wouldn't have. I showed up. You know, you're gonna look and go, oh, it's a fucking retard with a knife. I'm gonna deal what I gotta do with it, because you know what's going on. But those cops are still covered by the law, use of force policy, and the standard that it's set. So it's you know, that's the level of what I defended it on.
Listen, I love talking to you. I want to talk to you some. I'm gonna call again and talk about the cop who shot in Independent, Missouri, the one who shot the 2-month-old baby and the mother.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
That's another one that I'm telling you.
That's the one she came out of the closet, picked up the knife off the nightstand?
She did pick up the knife off the nightstand, holding the 2-month-old baby. And yes, he probably had the legal right and everything, obviously he did, to shoot her and the baby. But I think I would have, in that situation, and I've only dealt with people with scissors, not with a knife, but I would have bum rushed her.
You would because that's a different type of mentality, right? I think that you're at a protect life situation, right? And it's like, I think that our generation is just different, and you would have done you would have just jumped on her. You wouldn't have thought of taking the knife, but you would have fallen on the sword literally to prevent shooting her. Yes, sadly, because of the perception of what these cops are able to articulate as a threat today, they are covered by objectively reasonableness in using deadly force. I don't say I like it. I just say I understand it, and it sucks.
Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks so much again for the call. Really made my night.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to end with you. You have a great night.
Yep. You too. Bye.
All right, guys. Hey, I see you over in the chat. Only Cops Official on Instagram is checking us out. It's good to see you tonight. Sorry you're late. We're closing this up. But Only Cops Official on Instagram. Make sure you give them a follow. They're supporting us, and we appreciate that. We do this live every Wednesday night. Sometimes we go a couple hours. Today, about, hour, 40 minutes. It's not bad. Support the channel. Cop Talk Live on PayPal. We want to give free training to law enforcement. We want to work with agencies. We want to work with other people who offer everything. I don't give a shit if it's from interviews to constitutions. We want to be able to start supplying officers so that there's no more training, right? No more training. We can't get it. Cops need to be better trained. Well, fuck it. We want to solve that problem. And with your financial support, that's what we're going to start doing. So Cop Talk Live over on PayPal. Support the channel. You can buy my book. Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. It's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and wordsmatterpublishing.com. That's it. Guys, I appreciate all the comments, the just dissenting opinions, different opinions that don't fucking agree with mine. Opinions do agree with mine. I appreciate the support on all the levels. Share the content. Subscribe to our channels if you're new here. And yeah, we're going to keep going. But be safe out there. We'll see you on the next episode of Cop Talk Live here on YouTube and everywhere else. You guys have a great damn night.